Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Faith without works is dead. I don't wanna die so soon. I got moves to make instead. I ain't scared, I'm prepared. Big ideas inside my head. I'm gonna make them manifest. And I'm dressed for success. I left, right, order my steps. Network, I ain't gotta do it by myself. Who you know, show me who you know. Better let them know we bout to blow. It's time to go, go, go. Yeah, 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 yeah. Go to work, go to work, go to work, get to work, yeah. Go to work, yeah. Go to work, go to work, go to work, get to work, yeah. Go to work, yeah, 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 yeah. I ain't tryna trade my time, yeah. Simply wanna show you what I'm worth, yeah. Daily I'ma stay on my grind. Have a little faith and go to work. Yeah, 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 yeah. Go to work. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm on ride like every day, 'cause I want everything. I can do anything. Check my resume. It's people against you. They see what you've been through. But look in the mirror, tap into your spirit. It's power within you. Like LinkedIn, I'm locked in, get the job done when I clock in. I weighed out my options, put the work in, that's action, no lacking, just stacking. Big dreams I'm attracting, no accidents, that's fate. Just go in and have a little faith. Faith without works is dead. I don't wanna die so soon. I got moves to make instead, I ain't scared, I'm prepared. Big ideas inside my head, I'm gonna make them manifest. And I'm dressed for success. I left, right, order my steps. Network, I ain't gotta do it by myself. Who you know, show me who you know. Better let them know we bout to blow. It's time to go, go, go. Go to work, get to work, yeah. Go to work, yeah. Go to work, go to work, get to work, yeah. Go to work, yeah, 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 yeah. I ain't tryna trade my time, yeah. Simply wanna show you what I'm worth, yeah. Daily I'ma stay on my grind, yeah. Have a little faith and go to work. Yeah, 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 yeah. Go to work, go to work. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, now go nuts, go nuts, go nuts, donuts, 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 donuts.
Hey there, I'm Trevor Houston, the creator of the Who You Know Summit, and I'd like to welcome you to the Who You Know Job Networking Show.
On our program, we'd like to show you a job search like you've never seen.
Everything from getting noticed by employers, how to properly format your resume, and how to network effectively using LinkedIn to drive recruiters to your profile.
We even take suggestions from our amazing community.
So if you want to learn all things job search, go ahead and subscribe now.
Focus! It's all about the job search. So if you want to learn how to land that next success, you heard them. All you got to do is subscribe and ring that bell so you don't miss out on a thing. Welcome to the Who You Know Job Networking Show, where what you know is important, but
Who you know?
who you know
Who you
can
know?
make all the difference in your job search.
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 His job search.
In my job search? No, in your job search. Guys, we're super excited. We got an amazing show for you today, and we got a lot of cool stuff going on. There's so much things.
There's a lot of landings. There's a lot of cool stuff.
Oh, man.
Tons of
Okay,
landings.
so we got some news. I'm excited to announce. All right, where are my Apple users at? In the audience, if you're an Apple user, go ahead and put Apple. Let me hear if you're an Apple user. Go ahead and put that down in the chat, okay?
I've used Apple for years.
Because guess what? Today, I know you've been waiting on it. You're like, man, who you know mobile? Where you at? Well, it's live today officially.
Today.
So you can go download the Who You Know mobile app. Today. Yes. So let's give some shout outs. Who do we got with us? I see Raymond, Jeff Vance, good to see you. Jen Longcar, Mike Mediterranean, Holly Gorton, the beautiful.
Ray
How are you?
Sudar got a job. Ray Sudar's at work.
Oh, yeah, we got
snap.
G. G was with us last
G is
week.
with us.
Hey, G, we got Maria Rose,
Clayton
Christina
Tall
Knudsen. Oh,
Cunningham.
Dr. Christina Knudsen out in Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Julie Van Orden.
Atlanta.
Crystal Johnson out in Seattle. Man, we got Atlanta to Seattle.
Love that. Well, make sure you go ahead and tell us where you're tuning in from. I want to see that as well, right?
Berlin,
we get
New
people
Jersey,
from all
we
over.
see you too.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Crystal's in California, Atlanta, California.
California.
I misspoke, yeah.
All right,
Coast to
California.
coast, still. Coast to coast.
All right, Chris Watts, good to see you. G-Ham with the apples, love it. All right, so
Oh, look at G.
scale of 1 to 10, we always like to do this as well. Where are you at today? Okay, 10 being like, this is going to be an amazing day. It's beautiful, sun shining. I'm feeling good, feeling great, optimistic. And then, 1 is like, hey, I need a lifeline. I don't know where I'm at. I don't know what day it is. Give me some support.
Let's poll the audience.
Yeah, tell us where you're at. All right, so Timothy is from H-Town, Houston, Texas.
Yeah, I'll be there in 3 days.
Nathan is Weatherford, Texas. Good to see you out of Weatherford. David Rico.
David
He knew I was
Rico.
going to say it. Rico.
David Rico.
Yeah, he's out in Fort Worth. Michael Warner, Plano, Texas. We got a lot of Texas in the house today.
We got Amritha up in Waterloo, Canada.
Texas is good. Oh, really?
Yeah. Hey, Amritha.
Oh, hey, Amrita.
We got some 8s, some 5.632s. John says
Mike
5.362. Patty's a 10 plus. I like that. All right, guys,
Neil
here's what we're going to
Lanson
do.
should be a 10. Well, maybe not.
We always like to bless this show with a prayer for
Right.
the listeners, right? So, Foster, will you please do us the honors today?
Man, I will get on it. Here's the deal, you guys. Do we really trust God? We get frustrated because life is not going the way we want it to go. And we know that God's driving a car. So what's our problem? So we go to him, right? Let's go to him. Let's go to him and ask him to help us because, we need help. We're encased in this flesh. We need help. Father, we're coming to you because we need help. And you've always given it to us. Some of us in our 50s, and you've guided us all of our lives. Continue to teach us the things that you want us to know. We know we're going to get a job because we ask you for it. But help us to appreciate the things that you do. This nation, we lift up this nation and many other nations too. We lift up this nation because this is where we are. In the name of Jesus, we need help here in this nation. Thank you for helping me live in the United States, in Texas at that. Amen.
Amen.
I heard on the radio this morning on KTLY,
No.
they were talking about some quips and they said, what does it matter who says no if God is saying yes?
Ooh, that's a good point.
It's true.
If God says yes, who cares who says no?
Amen to that. All right, we got a lot to be thankful for, a lot of landings. I'm going to rattle off some names. Guys, get your donut emojis ready. Let's get them.
Go nuts for the donut.
Go nuts
Go
for the
nuts
donuts.
for the donuts.
Round of applause for Neil Anson. Neil,
Hey, Neil.
got the
Got it.
donut hole.
Donut
Yes,
holes.
donut
Donut
holes.
holes.
Neil got that contract.
Yes, we got Kurt German. Kurt
German. All right,
Woo!
Kurt.
We got
Yeah,
Michael Magrum. Mangrum.
Mangrum. Hey, Michael.
I just had to sound it out. I just had to sound it out.
You get me going, and then my mom was an English teacher, so I cleans it up.
Mangrum. Okay, we got Michael. We also got Kevin Moore.
Kevin Moore.
Congrats
Kevin Moore.
to you.
K-Mo.
And Michael Jones. Michael
Mike
Jones.
Jones.
Mike Jones.
Mike
Who?
Jones.
Mike Jones. You like that?
Mike Jones.
All right, who else we got?
Oh, man. We got Tiffany Struggs. Tiffany Struggs.
Hey,
Congratulations.
I'm going
Rob.
to be with you and B this week.
There you go.
I'll be at your house.
There you go. Rob Hendricks. Rob Hendricks.
Hendricks.
Yes.
All right, Michelle Field.
Yes.
Michelle
Michelle.
Fields, recruiting.
Sergey Makarian. Sergey
all right.
Makarian.
Yeah.
I think I'm saying that
Now,
right.
Sergey is way over
Sergey.
in Moscow. Yeah, in Moscow. Y'all
Serbia.
know where that is?
Moscow?
Moscow, Texas? No, not Moscow, Texas. over there.
Yeah. Alan Brush, congratulations,
Brush.
Alan Brush.
Check
Neil
me out, Alan.
England, we got two Neils, Neil Anson, Neil England.
Neil England and I've been friends forever.
We know Sajal Thacker.
Sajal.
Sajal,
We had
right.
her on this show.
That's right. Elida Hines.
Yeah.
Elida Hines.
Atlanta.
Keep 'em coming. Keep 'em
Jennifer Knowles. Congratulations, Jennifer Knowles.
Yes.
Wendy Gilbert.
Yes.
Wendy
Courtney
Gilbert in
Ayers. Courtney
Atlanta.
is a recruiter for Oprah now.
Yeah, Courtney guys landed with OWN, Oprah Winfrey Network.
Oprah
Come on
Winfrey.
now.
There you go.
We can get a job.
All right,
Nice.
Courtney. Matt Kelly. Congratulations, Matt Kelly.
Kelly.
Randy Milton.
Randy
Randy
Milton.
You know,
Milton.
alumni. And Stacey Parker as well.
Stacey Parker.
Nice.
Parker.
Hey,
All right.
Stace, congratulations, Stacey.
Congratulations to you all. Let that be
Wow.
an inspiration.
Yeah, that's like 20 landings. Every week we got like 20.
Every week. We've
So-
averaged about 20.
I know, it's crazy. So, guys, that's a lot of income going back into the economy. These people are getting back to work, getting back to their cash flow. I love it. So that is just amazing. I told you we got a lot to be grateful for. And your time is coming.
Yep.
You're next. We're
Yep.
going to be calling your name out here on the Who You Know Show. We want you to share your story with us, right? All these people were celebrating, they're sharing their stories, guys.
Yeah.
We want you to share your story when you land. Send it in to whoyouknowshow@gmail.com because your story encourages the next class, okay? Like, we need to pay this thing forward, and so the next class needs to know how it's happening. We had a guy, what was his name? I'm sorry, we were just in Coach's Corner. He had, he had 12 interviews. Who was that? I'm sorry.
Oh, my God.
Michael.
Matthew.
Matthew.
Matthew Stanger.
Yes, Matthew. Ugh, brain fart today. Matthew, he had 12 interviews today. And I'm like, okay, well, 12 interviews, like, we need to dissect that and figure out how did you do that, right?
Yeah.
How did you do that?
Andy asked a good question on the Job Father yesterday. Why so many interviews, you guys?
Yeah. Well, I'm glad he's getting them, right? So,
Yeah,
okay. Hey,
yeah.
Mark, tip of the week. What do you got?
Oh, tip of the week. All right. So,
Oh, put you on the spot.
Bad joke.
yeah, I wanted to learn how to drive a stick shift, but I couldn't find a manual.
Wow.
Wow.
So that's my tip of the week.
I started that, didn't I? Opened that door. Wow,
You
dude.
did open that door.
Wow.
All right, tip of the week. All right, here's the deal. You guys, when you are out networking, a lot of times people don't know how to network effectively. You go out and you meet people, right? And you get their information, but you don't have in the conversation and ask, right? And so a lot of times when we're out networking, it's great to meet people. It's great to add to your network, but you always have to either have an ask when you're meeting or follow up with an ask. So if you are connecting with people, make sure that you are reconnecting with them afterwards and have an informational interview, right? How many people have you met that you've just said, hey, hi, nice to meet you, great, here's my information, here's your information, but nothing ever comes of it. You've just met somebody, basically. Have an ask, be intentional, go into the networking meetings with an agenda, with a focus, a goal of meeting, maybe it's just one or two people, right, that you can actually have a conversation with and follow up and create some opportunity. All right, guys, so network effectively.
Yeah, you got to. Got to. Take those conversations offline. Have real human relationship conversations, relationship building conversations. You know what I'm saying?
I see that all the time, right? You guys probably see that too.
Oh,
where
yeah.
you're out meeting people, and that's great. But, provide some value
Yep.
and ask for some value.
100%.
And you'll end up being, like Meg Rose said, who you know alumni.
Yes.
That's right.
Well, and speaking of, for all of those names that we rattled off, y'all are now Who You Know alumni,
Yes.
which means your job is simple. You're now back to work. Well, guess what you get to do? You get to go build a relationship with those decision makers at that new company so that we can pay it forward and we can get you a referral and we can get that information looked at by the right people, by the decision makers.
Yeah.
So pay it forward, guys. We'd appreciate that. All right. We got to go to a real quick break.
Right,
but I
right.
promise you do not want to miss this interview coming up. We've got the one, the only, Michael Kutcher in the house. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
I know I had more potential than just breaking my back every day for minimum wage, and I knew that there was a lot more out there for me. I just had to find the opportunity to get that. When working from paycheck to paycheck, one of the things that you worry about most is just, paying the bills. The biggest fear for me would be just not knowing, what the next week was going to hold or the next month was going to hold, not being sure of my future. stopped working for the company that I was working for, and that's when I found Perscolas. Looking back on it now, I can only just think about the opportunities that I've been given from Perscolas and the people that work with Perscolas. And I wouldn't be here at Turner today if it wasn't for that opportunity. I wouldn't have the confidence that I have today if it wasn't for my opportunity.
Hey, Trevor Houston here, and if you're looking for connections to opportunities, free seminars and workshops, to the knowledge and tools you need, and individualized one-on-one coaching for solid plans and solutions, Career and Financial Services is here for you with a holistic approach to educate, empower, and guide you to achieve your desired future. Call today to learn more about how the coaches can assist you to reach your career and financial success.
And, through all that, my mother was actually the one that diagnosed me with having cerebral palsy. Now, if you don't know what cerebral palsy is, is the leading motor disability among children today. And I was diagnosed with it at the age of 3 by my mother. But see, growing up in my household was unique. Because growing up in my household, my parents didn't care about the word disability. In fact, I hate that word today. Personally, I don't like the word. My parents told us and demanded that Michael would be included in every activity that Ashton would do, every activity that Tasha would do. In fact, the school tried to hold me back in first grade. And my mom said, absolutely not. She said, Michael will go on and he will overcome challenges, and he will beat those challenges, and he will excel just like his brother would. And I did. My parents taught us that no matter what you do, no matter what game you play, that you're always a winner. That you always deserve to be on that podium. Right? Even if it's in last place. Yeah, I was often in last place. Gymnastics, by the way, I was horrible. Horrible. I do a mean somersault, but that's about it.
Welcome back to the Who You Know Job Networking Show, where what you know is important, but
who you know can make all the difference in your job search.
It sure can.
It will.
And let me tell you who I know. We got a very special guest today. Okay, we got the one, the only, Michael Kutcher. And let me formally introduce Michael today to the audience. So Michael is known to most people as Ashton Kutcher's twin brother. But after today, I promise you, Michael is the twin you will never, ever, ever forget. Having overcome unthinkable challenges against extraordinary odds, Michael is living proof that perseverance and unwavering positivity can surmount even the most seemingly impossible of obstacles. Michael is a champion, a public speaker, businessman, and advocate for people with cerebral palsy. Everybody, please, warm welcome for Michael Kutcher.
All right.
Michael
welcome,
Kutcher
Michael.
in the house.
Thank you for joining.
How you doing?
Man, we're so excited to have you here. Now, Michael, there's something that we like to do. We like to have fun. So, I got a game I want to play, and it's called Would You Rather, okay? So I want to know, tell me, would you rather have to speak in rhyme for the rest of your life or have to speak in riddles for the rest of your life? So rhyme or riddles, which one?
Wow. I got to tell you that I'm a horrible rapper, so I'd probably say riddles.
All right, you're a horrible rapper. So because you said that, I got to hear some freestyle, man. I got to know. Like, he's like, no, it ain't happening.
But I do have a mean dad joke for Mark there.
Here we go. All right, let's hear it.
Bust it out.
Why did the skeleton cross the road?
Why is that?
To get to the body shop.
To the body shop.
Oh man, I put that on Facebook today.
So I think he's got you, man.
Yeah.
I mean, look.
Hey, I love dad jokes. I love puns. Sausage puns are the worst.
Wow. Oh my God.
WURST.
Wow. Okay.
I just got that.
This show is stupid. Okay, Michael, we appreciate you. Hey, audience, tell us what you would rather. Rhymes or riddles? Tell us in the chat down below. All right. So I want to dive in. I want you to tell us, Michael. Let's go back. Okay, tell us your story. It says that you were an unexpected twin, right? So unexpected. What does that mean? And like, paint that story for us.
Yeah, I mean, that essentially means that when my parents went to the hospital, they only thought that they were having one child. So until about 2 hours before birth, they found out that they were having twins. So if that's not unexpected, I don't know what is. I mean, if you think of that, you've only got one set of clothes, one, car seat, everything. So that was definitely an unexpected moment for my parents.
Wow. How did they take that? Like, how did your mom and your dad take that? Like, I could only imagine, like, surprise, here's another one. Like, what is that like?
Somebody else we made.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't imagine it either. Myself having children, I would probably go nuts. But my mom, she loved children and she was open to it. I think that my dad probably had other things to say, to be honest with you, probably as I would as well. But, here we are, and it's great.
Well, thank God.
The world is better for you. I can only imagine because that was, I don't know how old you are, but that was probably before, a lot of the technology they have in obstetrics now, right? Where you can, so many more advances made in medical technology that probably doesn't happen a whole lot now, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, it was X-ray. It was, little, I think, I don't know what they were using back then to hear the heartbeat, but they only heard one heartbeat. They only saw one twin on the X-rays. So,
yeah,
a little bit more advanced today, where I'm sure that they could detect it. But back then, I was definitely a surprise.
Well, and you've had your own set of obstacles. I mean, even from birth, knowing your story, and we've gotten a chance to get to know each other a little bit, through Clubhouse and stuff, and I've heard your story. But for the audience that don't know, you were diagnosed with cerebral palsy at an early age. Tell us about that. Like, tell us what cerebral palsy is, and how does that affect you, and like, in your childhood?
Yeah, so CP is really a muscular disorder affecting, people's movements, and primarily it's affecting their ability to move and to just they really have no control sometimes. So it's a leading motor function disability, and so I was diagnosed at the age of 3 because my mom just kind of could tell that I wasn't developing the same way that my brother was or my sister. And after diagnosis, my parents and my family really, as you saw from my clip, they really made it a world of inclusion and to help me through, kind of my struggles through some physical therapy and stuff. But I'm fortunate in a way because I have a very mild form of CP, where others, out there have more difficulties and a higher degree of challenges than I do.
Yeah.
So at 3 years old, I mean, so I have a 6, a 4, and a 2-year-old. So I'm thinking about a 3-year-old. In getting that news, and as a parent, how that must have felt and how that must have been. But as far as you growing up then, and them making that decision, hey, we're not gonna have anything hold him back. We're gonna push him to excel, right, in whatever way he can. What are some of the things that they did? Did they do things differently, or maybe not differently for you versus your sister and your brother?
Yeah, but I think, what they did was they did not sit us down at the dinner table and say, hey guys, guess what? Michael has a disability. So they didn't bring attention to it. It was really never mentioned for the most part. And it was seeing my brother go through things and, be able to excel at things, and then always being told that I could do that as well. And that, nothing should hold you back. For example, kindergarten, they wanted to hold me back, but my mother was very adamant that no one's going to hold me back. So I think it's just that, much like in life where we have our friends that keep pushing us and keep, giving us momentum to do more and more, and telling us that we can achieve greatness. That's how it was in my household.
Well, I want to throw in a mic for your parents.
Yeah, for sure.
Straight up.
Overcoming.
And you're the champion, right? Like you're the one that had to do all the overcoming. But I love the fact that your parents, didn't enable you, right, to use it as a crutch. I mean, they were helping push you forward, and I love that. And they were speaking life into you when it could have been an easy way to speak death. You have the power of life and death is in the tongue, and it could have been real easy to speak death, but they were speaking life into you, and I love that. I mean, so shout out to your parents.
Absolutely. I mean, I've been through a number of challenges in my life where I could probably just sit on the sideline. I could probably say, I'm gonna be the victim of what's going on, but I choose to be the victor and not, let any of those obstacles affect me. I don't really view things as obstacles. They're just really opportunities.
Yeah.
So I know you guys here are talking about, finding people jobs, and because people might have lost jobs and stuff, but, think of losing that job as really an opportunity to go get another one and maybe do something better with your life that you didn't want to do. So don't view it as an obstacle.
Yes, I love that. I gave you my
throw
drop
one in
for that.
there too. I choose to be the victor, right?
Yes.
Because it is a choice.
How many mics do we got, guys?
Yeah. Oh, we got lots, man. We got
We're loaded
bags
up.
of mics. Look.
That's all.
So I was doing some research. I always like to do this before my interviews and stuff. And I was doing some research, and I know from what I read, and I can't always trust what I see online. So I want to just ask you. It didn't sound like, from what I heard, that it was always that way for you, though. Like I read an article that says that at one point you actually, you wanted to hide it. You didn't want people to know that you had it. You were actually angry at your brother for telling people about it in 2003. Is that story accurate, or tell me about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's very accurate. There was a point where I did want to hide my disability because, I have a very mild form of CP. And Trevor, when we meet, you'll be like, wow, you have disability, because if you saw me walking down the street, you wouldn't even know. I have difficulty with my eyesight, with my hearing, my speech, and a little bit of lack of motor skill and mobility on my right side. But other than that, I'm pretty productive. I just didn't want the disability word, which, I indicated I really hate that word. I didn't want that to kind of run my life, and for society to come up with their views. And, you think about employers and what are employers going to think about your capabilities? What's your friends going to think? And at that point, I was single as well, and I really didn't want to disclose that. And, once I finally did, I realized that, it really opened up doors for me. And I really, realized that, the employer that I have is very, very welcoming to it, and they respect me for it. And, really because we all have hidden disabilities, and so many of us do. And I think it's really a shame that we don't really announce those and that we don't cherish those. So I came up, so like I said, I really hate the word disability because to me it sounds kind of negative, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So I prefer the word diffability, like we're all different, so we all have different
Yes.
abilities. And I embrace that. And I think that we all do have different abilities. I mean, look, Trevor, and both of you, I mean, you're able to host a show here. I could never do that. But there's things that I can do that you probably can't do. So we all have different abilities. And
Yes.
I mean, the world would be really boring if we all were the same.
100%.
As much as I like you, Trevor, I just don't want to be like you.
I love it, man. I love it.
Michael, I can identify. 20 years ago, I had a massive brain aneurysm. The doctor said that 60% of my brain was gone. I had to regain everything that you made a choice. So I had to learn the lesson that what you're saying is very true right now. We have that choice. I had to learn that. I had to go through boot camp to learn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, we all have different abilities, and we just have to embrace it.
Well, I would say for you, Michael, that it's your superpower because you're making a big, big, big global impact, right? I know you're on a mission right now. The reason why you're here today and you've been in, Clubhouse, we've been hanging out together, we've been doing all this fun stuff, but you're on a mission. You're not just out there talking
Right.
about some light stuff. You're talking about some heavy stuff. So tell us about, when you were 13, okay?
Yeah.
You also had a heart transplant. Talk to me about that.
Wow.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah. So at 13, I became ill and ended up being diagnosed with having a enlarged heart. And I was given a very short, lifespan to live. And I was told that I need a heart transplant. And that really had no bearing on CP or anything that occurred at birth. It was just luck of the draw, I guess. And ended up waiting on the transplant list for a very short time, and ended up getting my miracle and having a transplant over 30 years ago. So that's
30 years.
So I've been able to accomplish a lot over that time period. And to your point, I'm on a mission to do better in the world, to tell my story, and hopefully impact some people.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I know Trevor had shared with me part of the story, and this is I think a great story. But even your brother was like, "Well, can I give him my heart?"
Yeah.
Can you tell us? I mean, was that part of
Wow.
the story?
Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, I think it just goes to show the bond that we have as twins. And think of yourself. If you were there with the loved one that you loved the most, what would you do? You probably want to do the same. And that's why I'm an advocate not only for disabilities, but or disabilities, I should say, but also for organ donation, and something that's near and dear to my heart. No pun intended.
Yeah, I like it. Dear to his heart, for sure. Okay, so it gave you an extra 30 years of life, right? So
Yeah.
is that above average? Like, what is it typical, like a heart transplant? I mean, do you have, I don't know anything about this. Do you have like a full lifespan? Is it like there's a certain amount of years, or what does that look like?
Yeah, I don't try to look at statistics because who needs that to look at?
Right.
They're just numbers.
And frankly, I don't care. I think that's what keeps me motivated and keeps me driven is the power of positivity.
Amen.
But to directly answer your question, it's about 13 to 15 years. So,
Wow. Oh my goodness.
but it's like I said, it's just nothing I think about.
Right.
I've lived longer with my my new heart than my old heart. So I keep on living, man.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Power of positivity for sure.
Yes, amen. Amen to that. I do have another kind of a weird question. This is kind of a strange one, but I've just heard, so I'm curious. I've heard that people that have like organ transplants and stuff like that might experience weird dreams, odd cravings or memories, things like that. Have you experienced any of that stuff? Is there any truth to that?
No, I mean, I don't really know that I have, but it's a little bit difficult for me to know that because, yeah, I was 13 when I had the transplant, and now I'm 43. So, like I said, anything that I've experienced is what I just attribute to my normal life today. So, I guess I don't really remember, when you're 13, you really don't have yourself kind of organized, or
Right.
have your framework, of who you are.
Right.
But I'm sure that it's impacted my life.
Gotcha.
Most definitely.
Well, I have a
I mean,
13-year-old.
how can it not, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a 13-year-old, and I can't even imagine telling him okay, paint that picture for me. Did your parents have to tell you, or because I was talking with Mark about that. I wouldn't even know what to do to tell Caleb, 13, like, hey, you're going to have this big procedure. Like, how did that all play out?
No, I mean, my parents didn't need to. The doctor told me.
Got it.
So, it was a very mature conversation, probably one of the most mature ones that I've had at the age of 13 that I had, where, a cardiologist looks at you and says that your heart's failing and that you have a matter of weeks to live.
Yeah.
At 13, I didn't really understand what was going on either.
Right, sure.
Until, I kind of woke up as the conversation progressed and realized that, we're talking about life and death.
Yeah. I have a question, Michael. What are, obviously, at 13, like you said, it's, almost surreal to someone that age, maybe not even really quite understanding. And there's, all through that you've been through all throughout your life up to then, and probably even past then with other challenges that you may have faced. You've kept going and the power of positivity, but what are some of the things in your life that were sources of that power, right, that you look to for inspiration in things? What kept you going?
Great question.
Yeah, I think that it's, it seems simple, but what's your alternative? I mean, really, what are you going to do? You're either going to lie in a hospital bed and you're going to give up and say, okay, I'll die. Or you're going to say, okay, yeah, I have a disability and I can't do that, and I'm okay if I can't do that, and accept that. Or you're going to fight your hardest to accomplish goals, and with the surgery, you're going to fight like hell to survive. So when it comes down to life and death, you only have one option, and there's a quote that I like to always say that, when confronted with death, you learn to live. And I think that that's what keeps me going, is just realizing what I've been given in life and the opportunity I've been given. Mm-hmm. And that, I don't just live this life for myself. I live it for someone else. And very few people know what that's like. And it's a sense of responsibility to be able to go on and persevere and fight through things. And whenever I reach a challenging moment, I think of my donor and what my donor sacrificed for me, and it all seems easier at that point.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about that for one quick second, because thank God that person made the act of checking the box to become an organ donor. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here this day and changing the world, because you are, right? And what do you want to tell people about checking that box?
Yeah, I think that it's just pragmatic thing that where we all need to realize that it's the one thing that we have. It's the one power that we have, is to be able to give back to other people. And I get a lot of questions of, hey, I want to be involved with philanthropy. How do I do this? How do I do that? I want to tell people my story. I don't know how to give back because they feel like they don't have the network or the resources to do so. But here's a situation where you can impact people's lives, and all you have to do is check a box. If you check a box, you have the ability to say at some point in your life that I saved a life. You can't say that today until you check that box. And not only can you save a life, you can save 8 lives. You can impact over 70 people's lives with various things like tissue donation. So I feel like we all have the responsibility to keep life going and to, help people live better lives and do better things. I mean, look at what I've been able to do in the last 30 years and the people I've been able to impact because of the generosity of someone else.
Mm-hmm. I love that. So you've got right now a goal that we're trying to hit. Over the weekend, you ran a room in Clubhouse, and we're putting on an event trying to really bring education and awareness so that people can, really just, again, like you said, do that responsible thing and just check that box, because, guys, you can't take it with you, all right? It's going in the ground if you don't. What a waste. You could save people's lives. Like he was saying, there's a story, Dr. Rowe was in that room, and her son had passed, and like 8 people, and there's over 70 people that have some of her son's, organs and skin and all these different things. Like 70 people were impacted.
Wow.
70 people. So guys, it's a really simple, selfless act. Just check the box. It's easy. Matter of fact, I want you to do this for the Who You Know Nation. Do me a favor, okay? I don't ask for much on this show, but I'm going to ask you for this, okay? It's selfless. Just check the box. Go to registerme.org/Michael and Gino, which is Gino, for life. That's registerme.org, Michael and Gino for life. And guys, go check that box. It took me literally 2 minutes to do that. I'm gonna put that link in the chat, by the way.
Trevor, if they can't find that link, I'm on Instagram and all my socials. That link's in my link tree as well.
Yes.
So they can go check that out and register as well.
Yes, love that. Yeah, go blow him up on Instagram too. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I love the impact. And like you said, you can't take it with you.
Yeah, take it with you.
I mean, this is what I believe. This is just an earthly shell, right? That's all it is. So if it can go to help others when I'm not here, I don't care. I'm gone.
Well, let's do this, because I see the audience right now. They're coming in. They're saying I already checked the box. So hey, I want to shout out John Allen. Thank you so much. I want to shout out Matthew Kimmick. He says I checked the box. The box is checked. Tracy, check the box.
Nathan Hay, check the box. I have heart on my driver's license to prove it.
Can I get a hashtag check the box? If you check the box, please let us know down there in the chat. We'd really, really appreciate that. We want this thing to go viral.
One more thing, Trevor. I talked about the life that I've lived over 30 years and the impact I've had on people, but the greatest impact I've had is on my kids. And my oldest is 16 years old. And if you think about that, he would never even know what life is.
Wow.
So you're not just impacting one individual's lives.
Generational.
You're impacting generations.
Oh my gosh.
And my brother wouldn't know his nephew, and so on and so forth. And it's important, guys. And it's so, to your discussion, what are you going to do? Like, I mean, you have the ability to give back. You can't take it with you. If you could, you'd still be alive, right? But just check a box.
Just check the box.
Save someone's life.
Just check the box. Hey, just check the box.
Just check the box.
Just check the freaking box, all right? It's too easy. You can't take it with you.
Just check it.
Just check it.
Just check it.
Guys,
there's another thing as well. I mean, living organ donation. A lot of people don't realize that you can live with one kidney. And there's a ton of people out there looking for kidneys as well. They're on dialysis. And, the other day in Clubhouse, we heard a story about a woman in Colorado just woke up one day and said, I'm going to give my kidney to a stranger. And what a remarkable story. But that story kept rippling down. And after it was all over, there were 8 people that were giving their organs to people they didn't even know.
That's amazing. That's impact. Yeah, we're in the room and people are literally raising their hands saying, I will give you my kid. There was a lady that needed one. And you said 3 people stood up and said, I will give you my kidney. 3 people raised
their hands just to give her their kidney.
That's impact, guys. So, Michael, you are a world changer. Guys, we got more. Don't go anywhere, okay? We got more Michael Kutcher in the house. We got to go to a real quick break, but we'll be right back.
I landed a job because I took from these groups and from this program what I could to apply into my life and into my job searching.
I want to give a huge shout out to the Who You Know gang. You guys are amazing. During a really tough time of my life and a lot of others, everyone was losing their job during the pandemic, and the folks at the Who You Know show and Who You Know, Foster, Mark, Trevor, and the whole gang really swooped in to kind of save the day.
I've started the 12-week program that you guys are putting together, and the wealth of information that you guys have provided completely revolutionized and transformed my knowledge and what I know I need to do to get my next career.
Welcome back to the Who You Know Job Networking Show, where what you know is important, but
who y'all know? Who y'all know?
Guys, you just heard those testimonials of the job seekers going through the summit and kind of their words about, the impact it was having on their lives and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of want to know from you right now, if you've been through our summit, just put #summit down in the chat right now if you've been to it at all, at any point, if you've been through our summit. If you have not, if this is your first time, I want you to put #first-time, and we'll reach out to you. We'll send you an invite so we can make an impact in your world as well. There's actually a link up in the description as well. But guys, we are back. I'm super excited again. We've got Michael Kutcher in the house, world changer, champion, all-star. And guys, this is awesome. We've been talking about checking the frickin' box, y'all. Let's check the box.
I got it right here.
Yeah.
Got my heart right there. There's my heart, donor.
Wow.
It's funny because Texas, I've got the donor right there, and on the back they got the cannon, the come and take it, cannon. So come and take it. Got my heart, come and take it.
Love that.
Can I have your hair?
Hey, Michael, so you've got a lot of other things going on. You also have a book that's coming up. You're writing a book. Tell us about that book. I want to know about that.
Yeah, I'm just wrapping up a memoir, which really goes through, you guys have only really heard a few pieces of my life story and overcoming a few of the obstacles I've had to overcome. So, for many, many years, I've had this on my bucket list. And, once again, it's one of those things where you just got to do it. You just got to pick up the pen and paper and start writing and let everything flow out. And so it's taken me a while to get my book up and running, but I'm happy that I'm at the final stages of it, and should be coming out probably in the next year or so.
Amazing, amazing. Do you have a title for the book? I'm curious. Or are you still working on the title?
I'm still working on the title, but I think I have a good start on it. But I'll keep that kind of under wraps for now. But
Okay.
I'll let you know later.
All right. He's like, I'm gonna keep that. We got it. Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to it. So let us know when that book gets closer, and we'll get that out to the audience for sure. But you said the book was about overcoming obstacles, right? Turning obstacles into opportunities, and I like the way you said that. If you were to give some job seekers some advice, right? They're running into a lot of obstacles right now, right? A lot of roadblocks and things like that. Maybe, is there any advice that you would give a job seeker who may be feeling like life is hopeless, like things are really rough? What would you talk to that person and say?
Yeah, I think it's all about perception, right? How do you perceive that situation that you're in? Do you perceive that situation as being an obstacle or a pity party, or do you really perceive that as being an opportunity? I mean, you mentioned a gentleman that had been through 12 interviews, and I could see how that could be a little daunting, but think about it. Maybe those just weren't the right opportunity for you. So I think that it all starts with a perception and a focus that you have to have. It's a power of positivity, and just believing in yourself, knowing that no matter the challenges, the obstacles, that you can overcome them is paramount in your success. And as I mentioned before, you either have the ability to be in control of the situation. You always do. And it's either going to be a victor or a victim, and you get to choose what one you want to be.
Mic drop. So I love you talking about, your perception is your reality. Mm-hmm. And whether you think you can or think you can't, either way, you're right.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you think that your job search is this big mountain in front of you, well, then it is. If that's what you think, but shift your mindset, and
and also look at everything happening for a reason.
Correct.
Right? I mean, so I'm a firm believer of life is built, around you, and that you go through certain things to learn lessons. So, yeah, you went to a job interview and you didn't get the interview, but what can you learn from that? What can you learn from that to move to the next interview, to be able to get the next opportunity? There's so many lessons around us. We just have to open up our eyes and take the perception of that to be able to embrace those. But to listen, open up our eyes.
Yeah, I love that.
I have a question.
Glenn Lundy says, win or learn.
Yeah.
Win or learn.
Win or learn.
One or the other.
That's right. I have a question. So you've got a career, right? You've got a successful career with a major corporation, and I think it's great to hear your perspective on what you might be able to convey to job seekers. But for yourself in your own journey, did you have challenges getting started in that career, and especially with the challenges that you've already faced up to that point? And you said that now you're with a company that really is very receptive to some of the things that are part of you.
Yeah, I started my career very young, when I was in my 20s. I've been very fortunate to be with the same firm for over 18 years. I mean, that rarely happens. But I've made it a point to kind of move myself up, to prove myself within the organization and my capabilities and my knowledge. I think that I did go through some challenges because you always want to succeed and you always want to kind of, progress to the next opportunity. But you have to also have that perception that maybe you haven't learned enough yet. Maybe you still need to stay where you are, be a little more patient, and then opportunities will come to you.
Patient. Yes, I love that.
Yeah, that's
We've had like a bunch of mic drops. I'm just saying, we've had a bunch. So why don't we do this? Let's
This
go
is
to the
life
audience.
today.
Let's go to the audience. I want to see if we can ask the audience a question. Why don't y'all be thinking of the question? I'm going to give some shout outs here. We got Mike Mediterranean. We got Robine in the house. Robin. Is it Robin or Robine?
I think it's Robin.
Jeff. We got Hope Mengita, Tracy Johnson. They're seeing all the mic drops.
Tracy
I love it.
Johnson, what's up? What's good?
So good to see all of you, by the way. What is a good question that we can ask the audience? Something we've talked about already. What do you think?
Ooh,
When he was diagnosed with CP, he was a certain age. How old was Michael when he got that diagnosis for CP?
Great question. How old was Michael when he got the diagnosis for CP? Tell us in the chat down below. And what we're going to do is, hey, Michael, do you want to tell them what we're going to do for these job seekers? I think you got a new clothing line or something coming out, man. You got some swag, boy.
Well,
You're looking good.
So I saw in your chat that a lot of people like the word diffability, and it's a term that I've kind of trademarked and coined. So I came out with a line with the clothing kind of mark that I guess you'd call it a clothing line called the Diffability Gear. So you can go on my website, you can go on any of my socials and see the link to the site to buy it. But T-shirts, sweatshirts, mugs, everything with diffability. So I'm willing to give out some swag.
Love that. We're going to give out some swag.
Well, we
We're
already
gonna
got the winners. They got some fast fingers today, or either that or LinkedIn
Yeah, they
is
were
up.
coming quick.
They are quick. They're
Posted them
good.
real quick. So we actually had two that commented the right answer at 55 minutes, 13 seconds. But the first one in that was Jim Young.
That's who I saw too.
Jim Young.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
Jim Young, congratulations. And by the
Yes.
way, it's Robin A.
Robin A.
Robin
Robina?
I was calling her Robine.
Oh, is it Robina?
Is it Robina?
Well, she said
Rob,
E's
can
an
you tell
A.
us what time it is?
E sounds like an A.
Well, is it Trevor? Is it Trevor?
Yeah, it's Trevor.
Trevor.
Travor, whatever. You know, I've been called Trevor Trev. You know, I've been called all kinds of things. So
T.
T-Rev.
T-Rex.
Yeah, all kinds of craziness. But
T-Dog.
congratulations, Jim Young.
Congratulations, Jim.
All right, Jim.
I got to tell you, Jim Young is always in them comments. He's won quite a few things.
Yeah.
He's
yeah.
winning
And
some
I will
stuff.
tell you, to Jim's credit, Jim started his own business.
Jim started
He was
his own
in the
business.
network. He started his own business,
Mm-hmm.
and he's hiring, but he's still plugged into the network. What a
Yep.
great example
part.
of paying it forward and
Saw
staying
him on
connected.
IT yesterday.
Thanks,
Absolutely.
Jim. Thanks, Jim.
Jim, thank you. Absolutely. Okay, couple more things, audience, I would like for you to do. Please, please, please. Remember, check that box. All right, we got to check the box.
Check it.
Check it. Microphone checker, right?
Check.
Just check the box.
Just check.
It's that easy. Second thing I'd like for you to do right now is take your little screen share or screenshot. Screenshot.
Wow.
Okay, take your screenshot with your phone or whatever device you're on.
All that.
And I want you to get Michael's picture in there. I want you to take that screenshot and I want you to blow him up. Blow him up. Tag him. I want all the notifications going crazy on all the social. Just blow this dude up
Yeah,
right
blow
now.
him up. You won't go to jail. Blow him up.
Blow him up. Tell him why, you know, what this show meant and how much we appreciate him coming on this show. Let's do it the who you know way. All
Yep.
right? Blow him up.
Well, thank you, Trevor. Appreciate that.
We
Thank
appreciate you too.
Thank
I hope it doesn't
Michael,
bug you too
for-
much.
Man, this is inspiration. This is what people need to hear right here.
Right
Thank you.
here.
Right here.
And that's why I go out, and that's why I decided to, I could either sit at home and do nothing, or I could jump up on stages and make a keynote of this and try to inspire audiences and get people motivated. So I think it's a great story, and I'm glad to be able to share it here with you guys and help you out.
Well,
Well,
we think it's a great story,
I
too.
love that
so.
because, you got a lot of motivational speakers, right? We've had a lot of people come up on this stage.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of motivational speakers and stuff like that, right? Keynote speakers, professional speakers, right?
Something about 13, because we've had other guests that had a near-death issue at 13.
Well, that wasn't where I was going. But
Okay.
where I was going with that is they're making impact in their own way.
Right.
Your impact is literally life-saving.
Real life.
Real life.
Real on the real.
Like, they may be able to inspire people to go start a business and make millions of dollars. Okay, cool. They're going to make some millions of dollars in this life. But you're like saving a life, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I just love it, man. So thank you for
So
all
what's
you
life
do.
about? Dollars or doing something?
Yes.
I mean, it's all about doing something. It's
There
all
you
about
go.
living
Yes.
life and realizing that time is the one thing that we just don't have control over. So
Yes.
appreciate what you have and enjoy every moment of it, and
Appreciativeness.
and the people that you're around as well.
Well, hey, Michael.
Yes, sir.
I got something for you, man. I dubbed this episode Golden Mike, episode 263. Woo!
Oh, it's 263.
Got the golden mic. I'm throw that in.
Wow.
Love it.
I like it, guys.
Well, hey, I want to say thank you again. We really appreciate you coming, and let's connect more offline. And I'm excited to build our relationship and see how we can change the world.
Absolutely. Thank you, Trevor.
Relationship.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
All
Michael.
right.
Thanks a
Guys,
lot,
that's
Michael.
the show.
It's all about
who ya know. Bye.
Trevor Houston here, and I want to thank you for tuning in to the Who You Know Job Networking Show. We hope you've been inspired, encouraged, educated, and entertained all at the same time. For information on our different events, workshops, partners, or partnership opportunities available, check out whoyouknow.show for more details. And be on the lookout for our new mobile app coming soon. You never know how this show could help someone you know? And if we've made an impact or put a smile on your face today, don't forget to hit that share button on your way out. Until next week, it's all about who you know. Bye!